Sweet. Hey, I'm Pat P.
I'm the Thriller Priest.
And I'm just Johnny.
And this is the Geek Down on WEMF Radio. Yo, hold on. Why am I getting like echoes and things? I'm still hearing
I'm getting it too, fam.
multiple voices, man. It's like schizophrenic, but I don't know what's happening. I'm going crazy, man. I can't handle it. Better. Got that on my system. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Geek Down. I am Pat B. On the side of him right here. Don't call to come back. He's just here for beers. Jay the Thriller Priest.
Peace. I was trying to get my beer, but Pat want to be all serious for some reason.
Hey, man, it's a professional show.
The show in front of us. They have like a whole, Johnny's like the beer collector guy over at Mary Ann's, cleaning up all the empties and bringing them all out there.
Hey, man, that's there, okay? Let him play a play. That's how he gets down.
Mama said knock him out, so.
Oh, jeez. All right, the man right there, you heard him. His name, well, first of all, I told him he reminds me of the color purple and didn't get it. Just Johnny.
Yep. I have like this really fabulous $3 from Savers purple trench coat.
Yeah, that's where the confusion lay in.
It was like color. I don't remember Steely rocking a purple trench coat. Maybe Mister was. I don't remember. But all right. Maybe the color ruckus.
That's where it fell apart. And of course, the man keeping it sounding amazing, crisp, and delicious, DJ Herbert Herb.
Hey guys.
Hey, and dude, we got an action-packed, fun-filled show for y'all. If you're just listening on WMF Radio, I want to remind you can also watch us live on twitch.tv/thegeekdown. Hopefully you're doing that every week. But yo, JM, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Johnny, you ready for this?
Yeah, bring it.
Herb, you ready for this?
Woo!
Cool, because we have WWE Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
It's about to get real, about to get raw. Actually, the SmackDown show, so I shouldn't say that.
It got real.
All right.
It got SmackDown live, if you will.
There was
keep this fun going.
There was smacks in the down direction.
Yes, there was.
All right. We've also got a couple new graphic novels for you. We got Kill 'Em All and Rock Candy Mountain, both by Kyle Starks.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple indies. We'll give you a solid taste of those. And then, of course, I've got the inside information on New York Comic Con 2017. What was good? What sucked? Was it awesome? Was it not? We will let you know. And finally, in closing, I know people have been chomping at the bit for it. Just Johnny's gonna bring you the full lowdown.
Yes.
I'm trying to think. See, I'm struggling for like a proper 80s and now.
I think you're running too hard to find something that isn't there.
You know what? Well played. Well done. All right, Blade Runner 2049. We've got that info, but first, I want to hear about this book called Kill 'Em All. JM.
Yes, Kill 'Em All. Wow, this was right off the bat. I'm just gonna tell you right now. I give this joint a thumbs up right now.
Damn, off the
out the riff. You ain't even have to listen to the rest of his review. Go get it.
All right, thank you. Now moving on. Go ahead.
No doubt. Overall, it's just a great piece. The way it's written. If you liked Kill Bill, and you like The Raid, this is just a beautiful meshing of the both. It's like Kill Bill meets The Raid.
That's like serious claims. Like, okay, now how you combining those? Because Kill Bill was like this revenge story. You have one assassin who's been wronged by her people, and then they stole her baby. They left her for dead. People she trusted turned her back on her. Love betrayed her, and now she wants to kick. Well, now she wants vengeance. And the raid is you in this building. Everyone wants to kill you. You gotta kick ass to get out of this building. So you kick ass to get out of this building.
That's it right there. So you got the assassin who's been trained, who's been betrayed.
All right.
She is trained, well versed, knows her craft. They call her the Princess Tiger, the Tiger Princess. She is amazing. She's done dirty. She's done dirty by her ex-boyfriend, who also works for the same crime syndicate, and she wants to get her revenge and quote kill them all. But at the same time, there's this ex-cop named Mason, who's kind of has a checkered past, if you will, and he wants to just take down some sort of crime syndicate as well. So it's like, hey, this is a win-win. I take up this crime syndicate. The main protagonist, the female, she's angry. She wants to get her revenge. They both just go into this building and work their way up. It's like, it's a difference between this and the raid. The raid, they work their way out of the building. She's working her way through the building, going floor by floor by floor.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is amazing.
That's on some Bruce Lee surviving the game. Wait, not surviving the game. I did this before. Is it most? No, it is surviving the game. Most dangerous game is that of the movie. Is the story about hunting a dude in the air. Okay, yeah,
you're right.
surviving the game.
Yep. Just
Okay.
working their way up to get to the boss there and just snipe up the
So
boss.
does she wear like the cornball yellow suit with the stripe?
No, she doesn't. She actually has a dress on. She gets exploded out of the building first thing in the morning because they try to take her out, and that's where her revenge is. Like, hold up, you trained me up. I'm your top assassin, and you gonna try to kill me like this, fam?
Damn.
Because the word on the street was that she was working with the police.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't, but they said she was working with the police. So she ended up getting blown off the building, and her dress cuts two seams in it, very similar to what you see in Chun-Li. In Street Fighter, where she just kind of has like the middle piece hanging down between her legs, so she has mobility within her legs.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much that sort of look is what she has.
Damn, okay.
And she just goes nuts, just tearing folks up. And the thing about this piece that I like is the little puns. The puns are thrown in there, and they're just so nicely done. I mean, I wasn't expecting to see a Devo reference.
Wait, like Whip It
like
Devo?
Whip It, yes.
Like Mark Mothersbaugh, Rugrats soundtrack Devo?
Yes.
So
yes.
something went wrong.
There was something went amazing. To throw those references in there. It's just
So they
tons
whipped it
of
in the shape.
80s and 90s references.
Right.
It was like if a problem comes along, you must pistol whip it. You know,
I like that. Okay,
with golden guns, pistol whipping folks. I mean, it's just done so well. I mean, they got the quirky, nerdy guy who doesn't want to be part of the team, but he's there because he has a crush on a really hot girl who's slaughtering folks. I mean, so you got them all. You got your angry female assassin who wants revenge. You got the grizzled old cop who wants to just trying to make his way back into the police force. You got corrupt cops that he has to fight. You got this nerdy sort of guy who believed the cop, who wanted to work with the reckless renegade cop.
I just wanted to believe again.
Pretty much, kind of like pocket protector type guy, but he somehow muscles up.
I just wanted to believe again.
But hey man, those
collection
guys,
coming along.
Hey man, those guys are indispensable, man. Those guys are unassuming. People just look at them like, oh, this little nerd don't know. Next thing you know, he got an AK and he's just slaughtering.
Wow.
So
pretty pictures.
It's
here.
one of those sort of things, man. Overall, once again, if you like Kill Bill and you like The Raid, this is for you. Artistry, beautiful art. I looked at it very similar to how Samurai Jack is illustrated. There's a lot of similarities within that. So you're not going to see what you typically see with
very simple design.
Very simple design.
Clean lines.
Very clean lines.
Very robustly colored.
Yes, very robustly colored. It's beautiful imagery. It's very
Black
beautiful.
dude playing Japanese.
Nah, not that.
Oh, okay, all right.
What's this? Phil Lamar, right? That's
Yeah.
Samurai Jack.
Phil Lamar, who plays like everything. It's like between Phil Lamar and Cree Summer, they'll never hire another black actor or actress ever.
Yeah, Cree Summer's like every little black girl on every show. It's like, come on, Cree, what are you doing?
Someone making goods like, come on now, I need help. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's not what she sounds like.
That is so not what she sounds like, but it's all right though.
I haven't seen Megan Good in years, man. My point exactly.
Man, she was an Anchorman too.
That's not that. We don't talk about.
She looked amazing.
We don't talk
Stop
about
hating.
that.
That was a great movie.
What?
Don't hate.
Man.
As we
Ron
digress.
Burgundy, wake up.
Burgundy was the man.
Jeez, dude.
Burgundy will forever be the man. Any event.
Hey, San Francisco. No.
Either way, man, Kyle Starks knocks it out the park. It's just one of these sort of comics that if you're into comics, you're not into comics, you're really gonna like this regardless. I mean, it's a quick read, easy read. It's fun. It's slapstick comedy, and you have your tropes there. You have the tropes of the angry assassin, the grizzled old cop, and the nerdy type, just trying to both exact revenge on the same individual who's done them dirty. So overall, I give this a thumbs up. Johnny already threw the thumbs up because I said he'd give it the thumbs up out the box. Just read this. Like, if you don't read anything else, read this. Because, I mean, once again, it's not a superhero. It's not a comic. It's not a comic storyline that you're like, okay, I don't know when to jump in on this. Because that's one of the sort of things that I struggle with comics. When do I jump in along the storyline, along an arc? This is standalone.
So I double dutching, like, come on.
Pretty much,
Can I get in?
Like,
Let me get a taste.
Do I get on issue number 25? Oh man, do I need to go all the way back to issue 1?
Like, I don't know about this one, man. Maybe I should get in, but Press X just died. Okay, he's back. Okay, so I jump in now. He just died again. Okay, he's back. No, wait, no, Wolverine died this time. Okay, so I jump in now. No, he's back. Okay, Professor X. Oh, they both dead. Okay, this might be a good time. Nah, because now they got clones.
You're just like, I don't know what's going on. No, this is just standalone, great fun. Check it out.
All right, cool. All right, so you're on the fence is what you're saying. Nah, that's all right, cool. So it's Kill 'Em All, independent indie graphic novel by Kyle Starks, available now. And dude, Jay,
Mm-hmm.
proper thumbs up.
Oh, thumbs up. Absolutely. Thumbs up's already there. Wherever the camera is,
All
I'm
right,
looking at.
it's that's like a joke. All right, so continuing that trend, I want to talk about Rock Candy Mountain. And this is also by Kyle Stark. It's an indie graphic that's out now, volume 1, so more are coming. But this one was really unique because, dude, how often do you find a book set in the hobo community?
Oh, we're talking like bum fights.
Talking
man?
like, well, okay, I wouldn't put it in exactly those words, but yes.
When you say taking place in the hobo community,
I mean, in the hobo community.
That tells me ace bandages dipped in like glass beer bottle shards.
Oh no, it's even better. It's even better. Okay. Hobo mafias in the sucker.
Oh,
Hobo mafias in the joint. These cats are jumping.
Look at oh man, you can see Herb's face. Herb's eyes lit up, fam. Like yeah, right, fam, right.
We don't have a camera over there.
You already sold me, fam. You already hobo mafia. I'm in.
All right, but it does look like the dude's excited. But it's the story taking place within the hobo community, which was really unique, a really unique take. So I was kind of jazzed to really get into this one and like get into the meat of the book. And it involves all these wacky characters because, dude, Satan is a character.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the devil's a character. People always trying to take out. Yeah, you got this one omnipotent like Zen ninja protagonist.
So he got lines.
Hobo.
He got lines.
Got lines and techniques all day. Yeah, bow staff and bow staff with a handkerchief of snacks at the end. No, it's a really interesting story, and the way it plays out is very capably written. Like the story has good flow, which you wouldn't expect from something that, I mean, let's be honest, was pretty much sold on a gimmick. It was Rock Candy Mountain. I never heard of it. It sounded like an interesting premise, and I actually got into it. And I'm like, bam, legit hobos. That wasn't a euphemism for anything. That wasn't like hinting at, well, someone who was homeless at one time. It all involves cats who like jump trains, ride rails, sit around flaming garbage cans and stuff. But I mean, it was still funny. That's the most important thing, because it's not a hard action book like you might expect. I remember a few years ago I read a book, Quixote, by one of the Image Comics dudes, and it wasn't a comic. It was a novelization, graphic novelization of the story of Don Quixote, set in modern times, and it was an interesting story because it was Don Quixote was always the hero that we read the story and believe he was in his head. And what it turns out is being the crazy old man was his cover. Like that's how the Mundy world will say saw him. So no one would interfere and put themselves in immediate danger while he's fighting the forces of evil, while he's fighting giants and dragons and demons. And because he was this like supernatural knight, he never died. So the story takes place in modern times where evil has come back. He vanquished it like centuries ago, and he's just been like the protector, the vigilant sentry, And the whole thing is so damn serious. Like he comes back now, and and he's a homeless man in these times, in this day and age, And it's played really serious, which I think kind of takes away from it, because the Don Quixote story, if you can get past all the funky language, is partly a comedy.
Yeah.
And this one is just serious from page 1 to page done. And that's not the case with Rock Candy Mountain. Rock Candy Mountain has clever jokes. They're cracking wise on each other. And I mean, dude, it was a good time. It was a good time reading. I was very surprised because I thought at the very least I get an interesting concept. But the fact that I enjoyed this sucker so much, and it's got really, really, really indie art. This one, unlike Kill 'Em All, is set more in shadow and darkness, like a lot of scenes at night. It just seems to. I mean, I can understand too. The story carries the story subject matter. Really falls more into those realm, those lines. Damn it, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're trying to say.
It's more story appropriate, and I get that, and it still came across like it worked for the comedy in the story, and nothing kept me from understanding what was actually transpiring. Some of the character relationships they really try to force that we're building to this, and something's coming up and you're gonna get there. But I mean, a lot of books do that, and I always thought it was kind of a hack thing, but this one does it, and it didn't ruin my experience. So I got to give this a thumbs up, a solid thumbs up. It's Rock Candy Mountain by Kyle Starks.
Man, it sounds like Starks just has a gift. It's gonna be. I mean, you're not looking for anything deep and metaphysical or anything like that. It's just He tells a great story.
Brother, I wouldn't go that far, man. He might not be a one hit wonder, but he might still be a 2-pump chump. So let's get there and see what else the man's got in the chamber.
I'm just saying, hey man, he knocked out 2 good ones. Give him hey man, show him some love. I mean, his sophomore debut looked good. All right, he ain't tank. So.
Okay, so Kyle Starks got them 2 nuts in. Good man.
Hey.
Okay, so I tells it like it is. You gotta see Herb's face over there. All right, but no, I'm gonna kick it back to the old school because I'm old for now. I'm gonna kick it over to my man JM the Thriller Priest because dude, my brother, Johnny is over there just like all of Twitter, white knuckled, anxious to hear about WWE Hell in the Cell.
Woo,
you will find no bigger Shane O'Mac fan than just Johnny.
Yep.
He's probably wearing the monogram trunks right now.
Got him in my pants.
With the dollar sign.
What are we talking about?
Just ride with me. I got you, Johnny.
I gotta know what I'm metaphorically putting in my pants.
Hell in a Cell. This was actually a pretty good pay-per-view. I gotta give it its due. I remember I said a couple weeks ago that I'm not gonna compare WWE to the other organizations, the other promotions. I'm not.
Then you immediately compared it to
Then I immediately did it. Yeah. Straight was that Rick James. What I look like? Smoke a crack. Yeah, smoke crack.
He's a hell of a drug.
Ridiculous. All right, let me stop going down the rabbit hole here. All right. Watch the pre-show. Pre-show match is just standard. We're gonna throw this match together to kill some time. Gable and Shelton Benjamin went up against the Hype Bros. All right, match. Gable and Benjamin won. I'm still trying to figure out what are they doing with this.
Which one is Gable? Which one's Benjamin?
Dude, was that the Simpsons one when he's like Carl Black, Letty White on his hand?
It's like, well, not from Die Hard. I'm Nathan Johnson. This is Agent Johnson. No relation. It's like, yeah, obviously no relation, y'all motherfucker. Right.
You never know.
Well, hey, this is my twin brother. He's an albino Italian. I'm like straight from Zimbabwe.
Well, speaking of twins, the Usos went up against the New Day.
Same womb. The doctor had a lot of questions.
Hey, bro, you ain't seen those images where it's like one black baby, one white baby got the same mama and daddy. You kind of like, you sure?
Yeah,
but it is though.
I feel like someone there might have questions. Might have also some tall splaining to do. Some splaining.
Let me drive this truck back on the track now.
Why that bellman don't come around no more?
You a mess.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You a mess.
Derailed you. Go ahead, brother. My bad.
I'm trying to steer this bus back on the road, man. You're not messing me up. All right, here we go. The Usos went up against the New Day for the tag titles in a Hell in a Cell. I was surprised that this was the first match starting off the night. You kind of like you built this whole pay-per-view up around the 2 Hell in a Cell matches. The pay-per-view is called Hell in a Cell. Yeah. And for those of you who aren't familiar, you should be familiar by this point. Hell in a Cell is essentially the ring is encased with the cell. Pretty much, big giant cell is plopped right over the key, right over the ring. You're locked in. You don't get out till somebody wins, supposedly.
Or one man's dead.
Oh yeah, something like that.
Or one woman's dead.
So, hey, there was a woman's hell in a cell.
Or one child. No, that's
well, they haven't any kids in there yet, but hey, just wait, somebody will.
I wouldn't put it past Vince McMahon. Give it time.
Hey, man, when ratings get bad, you throwing some babies in there. I don't know.
And WWE 2023.
Fighting for the golden rattle.
Rugrats go wild.
Tag team keep called Toddler Mobsters. The Todd Mob.
My money's on Chucky.
Yeah, for real. I think Chucky got that. Chucky with the glasses. Chucky got that.
Hey man, don't sleep on Jigsaw. You got that tricycle too. He got wheels, man. You can't see that. Chucky got them little baby legs, like, flitting around and stuff.
You a mess.
I'm sorry. I'm doing like
Tommy Pickles might got that in there. I don't know. Tommy Pickles might be able to do it.
Little Tommy Pickles and the gang, they don't mess around.
They don't.
Get up, fall down, crawling into your town.
Oh, are we really gonna reference Cree Summer again?
I'm sorry.
As Susie. Look at that. I didn't expect for us to be on this show referencing Cree Summer twice.
Hey, shout out to Cree. If you ever want a guest spot, we got a seat for you.
Yeah, for real. I'm pretty sure you still look good in the mo.
Oh, you haven't seen her?
I haven't seen her, but
I got pictures for you after the show, my brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. But anyway, let's get this train back on the track.
This is the most inappropriate report ever.
It so is.
Actually, no, I did make like references to like nothing on.
Yes, you did. Okay. Yes, you did. Or the last one. Yes,
prestigious here on the Geek Down.
We'll edit all this. We'll edit all this out in post. Right, right, Herb? Is that how we do it?
Herb's like, nah, it's live, baby.
We're doing this live.
Okay.
That actually happened at the pay-per-view at the end of the show where he was like, yo, edit that out. He go, nah, yo, we live. We can't edit that out. Oh, I.
When Bill O'Reilly's turning over in his grave.
Yeah, for real. His grave. The grave that is his career. But in any event, he's still getting that racist money.
Well, no, he's paid. He's paid the doomsday, man.
So the Usos went up against a New Day. I mean, like I said earlier, I don't know why they put this match on first. Arguments are maybe because they wanted to start off strong. I don't know. It's kind of like you gave me dessert before you gave me dinner. Like I'm just kind of lost and confused why'd you do this? Because I'm like, what's the point of me eating my broccoli if I already ate that cheesecake? Don't make sense.
Well, I kind of like that though, because I mean, you tuned in for the major Hell in a Cell matches.
But I mean,
the rest, it may not necessarily be filler. There may be some actual grudges that get resolved, but I hate like pay-per-views or any event really where it's like they know what I came for and they know and they save it for the very, very, very end. And if they have more than one, now think about it this way. That's why you get people that they don't come for like the first parts of shows. They don't come for the first parts of concerts. They don't come for, you know. I figure by doing this now they've thrown people curveballs where it's like, oh, I'm gonna tune in and watch the whole thing because they never know where they're gonna throw in the thing that I want to see.
Hey, you should learn your lesson by now. Yo, I think I told this story before. It was some light tangent. In college, we had Tone Loc, Rozelle, and Outkast perform, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody assumed that Tone Loc would be the opener because, like, Tone Loc, that joker, oh, he ain't done nothing since Funky Cold Medina. Damn. So nobody showed up for, like, the first hour, right? Mm-hmm. But for some reason, Rozelle went first. Nice. I went there because, I mean, I was dating the sister who wanted to be on time to everything. So I was like, hey, we're going to be on time for everything. So I saw Rozelle in the beginning and then Tone Loc. And you see this steady stream of black and brown people show up. Like, why is Tone Loc on the stage right now? They look at their watch like, hold up, Outkast is, hold up. And he's got this anger like, wait up, Miss Rozelle? I'm like, bro, y'all should have been here early. They were hot. Rozelle, I mean, Tone Loc's doing Funky Cold Medina, and like these young girls are like grinding on him. It was just a mess. Like, she wanted to be your daughter, fam. Hype man telling people to push him up, push him up. I'm sitting here like, bro, this is 2002. You told us to push him up. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is so out of touch. Like, you're so out of touch with the audience, but it's one of those lessons. You show up on time, fam.
Right. What they really missed out on was Rozelle doing his version of Wild Fang.
And Rozelle was the man. Folks was hot that they missed Rozelle. I was like, But
and anyone who doesn't know, who's under the age of 30, Rozelle, the human beatbox, was a performer back in the early aughts and late 90s and early aughts, and was very popular for a while. And I bring this up because, dude, when's the last time cats heard of Rozelle in 2017?
Herb's face crunched up a little bit when you said that. I'm assuming because Herb, you know who Rozelle is, and people need to know who Rozelle is.
Herb's like just on the cusp, though, you know.
Yeah. His face crushed up like, I can't believe you're explaining this.
All right, well, Johnny, does the name Rozelle ring a bell with you?
Nope.
Point made. Thank you and good night. You were saying about the Usos.
It just I don't even want to do the report anymore. I'm just so sad. I'm just so dejected that I
power through my man. I'm sorry.
The Usos in a New Day. The build was amazing. It was a great build. I mean, it's a great feud. They built this up properly. So the end result had to be this Hell in a Cell match. Surprising was that it was Woods and Big E in this match, not Kofi. I was really surprised. I was wondering from a personal lens, like, okay, Kofi's like 36, 37. Is it because, the Hell in a Cell is a young man's game? Because everybody in that cell was probably 30 and below. Because the Hell in a Cell is a beast. It's a monster. You get thrown up against the cage and just people walk out bloody. Nobody was bloody on this one, but whew, folks got whooped. There were some great spots in this match. I mean, one of my favorite spots is when they put handcuffs on Xavier Woods, draped the handcuffs behind his head. And if you see me on Twitch, they draped the handcuffs behind his head and have him hang from the steel post. And as he's hanging there, they're whipping him with kendo sticks, just beating the hell out of him.
I'm sorry, this is still wrestling, right?
It's Hell in a Cell, man, so it's anything goes.
Damn.
Oh,
son.
They whooped him bad. Oh, my God. They beat the hell out of him. It was just like, man, that was a hell of a spot, man. You dedicated to this. They did this one move when one of the Usos was stuck in the corner of the cell. They took kendo sticks and pretty much put him across his chest and put it across his body so they could then hit him with it. So they had him trapped in the corner with kendo sticks holding him against the into the corner. So he was trapped in the corner getting whooped by these sticks. It was just like amazing how they just utilized the materials around them in this cell. It was just done well. Great spots. A lot of dudes flying into the cells. It was just done very well. It was one of those can you see them top what they did just in their previous matches of street fights and whatever, and they was able to keep the action going while trapped in the cell. And it was just done so very, very, very well. It was one of the best Hell in a Cells I've seen, especially coming from a tag team match. So it was done very, very well. It was one of those, at the end of the match, I was like, you know what? I don't know if I want to watch the rest of the pay-per-view anymore. I think I got what I needed. But I was like, well, I got to do this. I got to do this review on the Geek Down, so I better watch the rest of the pay-per-view.
You don't make it seem like, it's like, well, I guess I got to do this damn show.
I mean, P paying me the big bucks to do this show, so I got to make sure I'm here.
Maybe make it seem like, it's like, yeah, I got to go talk to these jive mothers about, fine, I'll sit here and watch the sport I already paid for.
So I'm telling y'all right now, those of y'all who watched Hell in a Cell, y'all know y'all thinking the same thing. Like, I don't even know if I want to watch the rest of this because I don't want. It's like I don't want to blow my high. You know what I mean? Because I'm at the top right now.
Okay, that's how. But then again, yeah, none of it's like, well, we got these featherweights we're throwing in for like the early matches. No, they start you out from the gates.
But once again, that's to your own. I mean, it's your own detriment, though. I mean, you walking me in at a high. Why don't I want to stay there for the rest?
What are you doing while this match is on? Because you're like, man, the match was done. Ooh, I was already spent. I was ready for bed. Like, what's going on in the background of your place,
I'm screaming. I'm yelling. I'm hollering at the screen like
cool,
a lot of oh my gods. I'm just like, you know what? I think I'm good. Because, I mean, you get that hype at the end. You're like, okay, cool. Now it's time for me to go home, have a drink. I'm done. I don't watch what I want to see. I mean, have you been to, like, not just a pro wrestling match, but even, like, an MMA fight? Or like that, when you see like the headliner, you're like, yeah. Nope. That's like if you go to a concert, do you expect your headliner to open it up? No, you wait, you listen to like all the up and coming dudes.
You know how much I hate having to listen to those up and coming suckers too. If they're not good, I'm like, I paid to be here. I'm subjecting myself to this voluntarily.
That's horrible.
And I've only been to one like wrestling match like in like live in person, official, proper, not backyard stuff.
Yeah.
It was a WWF match. We went because my grandpa was in town.
That's awesome.
We saw one opening match. Grandpa got sleepy and we left. Amounto was talking about upcoming. We have Jake the Snake Roberts, Mr. Perfect, and someone else who's big at that time. I want to say like Bad News Brown or something. I forget. But and we left because Granddad was fading. I'm just like, but they said, I'm not traumatized. I love my grandpa.
You are, fam. You're like, that's why the main event needs to go first. If I have to leave early, I want to make sure I caught it.
He's not wrong.
Stock
him up on coffee beforehand.
Yeah, for real. Like, Granddad, just prop him up like we get a birdies. Prop him up. You hang in here with me, Granddad.
If you really want the blood flowing, give him a Viagra pill.
They didn't have
That'll
Viagra
keep him
back
up.
then, but thank you for
or at least part of him up.
Thank you for bringing my grandpa's erection onto this show. Thank you.
I thought we were setting records for this show.
No,
you're the one who made ejaculation jokes in the beginning. That was like 10 minutes ago, fam.
I gotta keep level with you guys.
There was no senior citizens involved there. Let's keep it in perspective. I feel bad.
That sounds like ageism for me, people.
I imagine we got one or two senior citizen listeners, and they just like turn they just like. I was gonna say turn their radio off. We're internet radio, but they probably like switch off the website.
Close the browser window.
Yeah.
Enough of this. Click.
Like, how dare they click back to Pornhub?
Oh god, I didn't even get past the first match. Oh, yo, we got it is, and I'm sitting here looking at you, P, because I'm like, I know we got more content to cover, so I'm like, I don't even know how much.
Do you, brother? Do you?
All right, I'm gonna tell you about two more things. Let me get out of here. Well, three more things. Get out of here. All right, Baron Corbin versus AJ Styles, which Ty Dillinger. Dillinger weaseled his way into the U.S. title match. Corbin took it, and it was great that Corbin took it because despite the fact of his outside of wrestling activities, i.e. bad-mouthing indie wrestlers, bad-mouthing legends in the sport, just being the overall kind of, I don't know if I can say this on radio, but I'm saying kind of a douche, and him getting his hand slapped for it. He was rewarded with this U.S. title shot and his U.S. title, which he deserves. It is great for him because it's good to motivate, to uplift not only his career, but a lot of the mid-card guys who need upward mobility. So you got an A-lister, a top dog main eventer in AJ Styles, giving up the mid-card title and to move up to the world title picture. So it's kind of like being in a job and finally seeing that old dude retire. Because if that old dude retires, I'm able to get his spot, you able to get my spot, the dude behind you is able to get your spot. It's just kind of seeing the upward mobility happen. So it's great to see that Baron Corbin was able to get that belt. because now AJ can move up back to the main event picture. Hell, even Ty Dillinger can move up into the mid card picture. So I mean, it's a good look all the way around. Jinder Mahal defended his title against Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura lost. Jinder Mahal won. It's just kind of a head scratcher on why Mahal retained it. But at the same time, I mean, we all are speculating that it's gonna be Nakamura and it's gonna be AJ Styles for the world title at WrestleMania. So perhaps they're stretching it out a little bit. But Nakamura will be champion. I'm calling it. He'll be champion before the end of the year.
Well,
I mean, it's only 2 months left. But I'm pretty sure Nakamura is going to scoop that title so he can be able to defend it against Styles at WrestleMania, because you only hear me mention this once. I said I won't mention the other promotions, but I will on this one, because Vince McMahon is definitely eating off the work that New Japan built with Nakamura and Styles in the past. Because
7 minutes, yo.
So Nakamura and Styles already fought in New Japan. There's a lot of buzz behind that fight, so Vince just capitalizing on it and having to fight again, but in WWE for a WWE title. So I mean, that's what we're seeing.
And he doesn't own that. He didn't own that franchise, does he?
Or New Japan? Oh God,
Yeah.
no. God, no.
Well, no.
It'd be
I
a
mean,
train wreck.
I know he was like covert owner of a few other ones. I found out later. So I don't know if that falls into that umbrella.
It was covert in a way in which he helped them be able. It was one of those. How do I say this? If you are my supplier, and I got a bunch of dope boys underneath me, I gotta make sure you don't go out of business. I want to acquire you, but you're not gonna sell out to me. So what I'll do is I'll make sure I slide you extra change, and you'll cut me a discount on my dope boys, or you give my dope boys more time to be out there pushing. And eventually you're gonna go out of business. So I'm just kind of looking out, helping you out until you get to the very, very bottom of the barrel. And next thing you'll know I'm just gonna sell out to you, fam. And I got the whole enterprise. That's pretty much what it is.
All right. Well,
so that's all Vince was doing.
That, but what's also a shame is I imagine that's exactly how Vince sees it in his head.
Probably. He sees it just like I finished reading the Gucci Mane book. He sees it just like Gucci. Maybe. I don't know. But the way he's operating.
I had to bring Gucci out for a second, man.
Maybe he is looking at it that way. But I mean, that's exactly what he did.
Don't get ice cream cones on your face, kids. That's all I'm going to say.
JoJo got a book out. Good book. But any event, so I mean, it's interesting to say the least how that panned out. But it's what it is. Finally, the last Hell in a Cell.
The last Hell
in a Cell match of this evening. Kevin Owens went up against Shane McMahon. Shane O'Mac,
daddy.
And it was one of those, like I mentioned earlier, how is this going to top it? I was talking to my boys while this was going on, live tweeting, whatever. Like, you know what? The only way this is going to even remotely compete with what the New Day did and what the New Day and the Usos did is exactly what, P? Say it? You was about to say it?
I was about to say, well, if Shane careens off the top of the cage again.
Pretty much. I'm like, there is nothing these two dudes could do at all unless Shane jumps off the cage. Other than that, just be like, blah. Because you can't top hanging a guy up with handcuffs.
Yeah, what the hell was
beating
that?
the hell out of him with kendo sticks. You can't top trapping a guy in the corner and beating him with kendo sticks. You can't top that. So it's like you're just gonna
WWE next new pay-per-view, the Kumite.
The Kumita. Kung Fu Wolfman.
Oh, jeez. Okay, anyone who couldn't actually see that, you should be watching us on twitch.tv/Geek Down, because that right there was from the classic Kumite moment in Bloodsport. But the dude gets up and he's like, and then he got dispatched in one kick. All right, but yeah, no, I don't understand why. Like, I get it after a while, bringing a chair in. Oh, it was only the bad boys use chairs. It was crazy. Now these cats officially got kendo sticks. They got.
Oh, they've been having these, man. It's just the way they did it this go around. They've had it. It's just being unique. It's being creative with the materials that you have. You know what I mean? So that's what they did. So I mean, with Shane O'Mac going against Kevin Owens. Ultimately, it was just the same old. They fought, they scrapped. The one thing I did like is that they fought on top of the cage for a long time. And it was like, okay, you're up here. What's going to happen? Like, are y'all trying to purposely bust the cage open from the top, like a la Mankind and Taker, where he chokeslammed them and Mankind careened through the cage, slammed it to the canvas with the chair falling on his face? Like, is that what you're going for with this one?
And damn near ended his career. These are not goals you should set.
He blacked out in the midst of that. He owned up to it. Was like, yeah, I straight blacked out when I hit the ground. I was like, oh, jeez, Foley.
It's like, but I'm supposed to job to you. Oh, he's up on his feet. Oh, you fell on me.
It just
I can't get out of it.
and looking at Taker's face when Foley went through the cage was just priceless. Like, oh my God, is this guy dead? If Foley's just like, yo, it wasn't like
He's like, oh, not again.
Because mind you, that's the same match when Foley got thrown off the cage. And Foley was like, you know what? It wasn't the throw off the cage into the table. It was the going through the cage to the canvas. That hurt more than getting thrown off the cage. But in any event, as you know,
taking their lumps more than Mick Foley.
So as you know, Shane O'Mac did come off the top of the cage. He was going to do it at some point. So he came off the top of the cage. And spoiler alert, Sami Zayn came out of nowhere, pulled Kevin Owens off the table.
Really?
Like, what happened? Mind you, these dudes are mortal enemies. They're, once again, another beef that WWE is rehashing from Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been beefing for years, literal years. Sami Zayn pulled Kevin Owens off the table. Shane O'Mac comes down, slams into the table.
So
table
you mean his name is now Shane O'Splat?
Pretty much. They're bringing up the
Stretcher.
They're bringing out the stretcher, put his neck in there. You
Bringing
know,
out the hearse, you mean?
Pretty much. I was waiting for Paul Bearer to come driving it down. I don't know. It was a train wreck, bro. Sami Zayn, typical heel, grabs Owens, drags him over, puts him on top of Shane while Shane's like on the stretcher. Which was classically done. It was like, he's on the stretcher. Get over here and pin him. Drags him, put him on there, grabs a ref, slams him to her. You count that 3. This is false count anywhere. Like, ref's like, but he's on a stretcher. It was like, no, you count that 3. Excuse me. I'm trying to be so loud. And he counted 1, 2, 3. Matches over.
He's like, no. I'm not gonna lose this. He's still got his neck brace on. I'm not gonna lose like this. Can't lose like this.
It was hilarious, and it was 1, 2, 3. It was a wrap it up, B. So heel Sami Zayn is what I'm geeked up for. Since I'm talking to y'all lovely people, I don't know what's happening on Raw. So I mean, I don't know if Sami Zayn is a heel. It looks like he's a heel, and it's great to see him do a heelish thing like that. So I mean, overall, it was a good pay-per-view. It really was. So I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. I know you don't like the middle thumb, so I'm not gonna do the
no. You commit to one.
I'm committing to a thumbs up. It was good. It was a good pay-per-view for what it was. Check out the rest of those matches. The women's title match was pretty good. It wasn't the best I've seen, but it was pretty good. Orton versus Rusev, meh, give it, take it. Bobby Roode went up against Dolph Ziggler. That was a pretty good match. I mean, it ended like a typical SmackDown sort of match, but it was good, and Roode just looked great. It was great seeing Bobby Roode again on the main brand and on NXT. That's all I got, P.
All right, cool. And if you do know what happened on Raw, hit us up at geekdownradio@gmail.com and let JM know. And also, if you weren't watching us on twitch.tv, you missed a ton of visual gags, so get up on that, twitch.tv/thegeekdown. Now, I also, on YouTube, just search the Geek Down. I'm just chilling.
Just throw it out.
Yeah. But I really need to give the inside information on New York Comic Con 2017. I was there, and I had
I was jealous.
Yeah, I'm sorry, brother. I mean, we only get so many tickets, so many badges, so many passes, so many open doors and such. No, this one was good. They really did their best to compensate for the construction. Half the Javits Center, where they normally hold Comic Con, half of it was closed for construction. The whole area that's normally the artist alley, and where the extra independent vendors that also have their own content. Also where I'm at DMC, that whole area was shut down.
I like how you worked that in there.
Proudest moment. Yeah.
I'm at DMC. He was doing his thing.
Darren McDaniels, hip hop legend. That's my favorite moment of any convention ever.
Yo, for I know this one sister who went to St. John's, and of course I started lying to her. I'm DMC, the place to be. I go to St. John's University, and she's like in her 20s, and she's hearing this. Nothing but love for you, sister. I'm not gonna throw your name out there, but she was like, "How does everybody say that to me?" I'm like, it sucks for you, fam. I know all your whole 4 years, and for the rest of your life, people gonna run up to you and say that. Anybody above the age of 30 is gonna scream that to you, because that's the first thing I didn't know from a hold on. I was like, "Hey, my name is such as. Hey, where'd you go?" I went to St. John's. DMC. She just had this look like.
Watch her name be like Denise Mitchell Collins or something too. All right, but the Javits Center was half of it was closed for construction. They still did a good job of delegating people to different entrances and really keeping the foot traffic flowing on the inside, which is really tough to do because it's just been kind of a cluster F in past years, and you get tons of people just surrounding the place, and then it's flooded. And the only real detriment here, because they did that and they closed it off and they reallocated different parts to different places. Like the artist alley was right next to the main stage this time, which created a lot of, I won't say unnecessary foot traffic, but there was a lot more traffic around the main stage area. So if you were trying to wait to see, I don't know, Alan Tudyk, Nathan Fillion, those ones that usually are in the big stage, you may have had a harder time getting there. I actually had to direct a few people. Not that I looked official or anything, but just they were lost. They were just asking anybody, and I just happened to have just come from there.
So you was asked the black dude? That's who you were? You was asked a black dude?
Well, no. This was fair because they weren't asking like, "Excuse me, are you cosplaying Shaft?" It's like, "No, ma'am, I'm just a Negro." The way they had the food trucks set up too was really smart because in the past, for actual food, you've been dependent on either those grody ass hot dog carts and sausage carts and stuff and pretzel carts outside the place. Yeah, but it's like
sitting in that tub of like water that's been
dog
there
water.
that they don't dump out at the end of the day. You know they don't.
You know they don't. They just recycle the same nasty hot dog
the
water.
worst part of it is there's one vendor that's always there. He's been there every year, and everyone else cooks their food regular. This dude, and I thought it was just one time, one day, 1 year, but no, it's been consistently in the last, I think, like 4 or 5 years going. That his everything on his cart is always char burnt, and it's not that I'm eating the food and I don't enjoy the taste. It's the smell. You are outside, so there's wind that's blowing this stuff, and that whole street and half the Javits outside smells like just hard burnt everything, like burnt sausage, burnt steak, burnt hot dogs, burnt.
It's Cajun.
It's not Cajun. It's not Cajun. It's well blackened.
Darkness, everybody, darkness.
But I bring that up because what they've done now is they commissioned several food trucks. Usually you'd see 1 or 2. They had, I think, 6 in line. And they've placed them all in this nook area, which used to be the primary place for folks to do photo shoots. So your pros and your semi-pros would arrange photo shoots there with group shots and etc. It was a nice open area that was unoccupied and had less foot traffic, so they could have their photo shoots without blocking folks on the dealer floor and such, or in just the general hallways. So that was one like actual detriment to the people, but really worked out for everyone else, for just the casual con goers in the convention itself, because it gave another option for food. It helped out local businesses, and dude, I mean, when you can actually go outside and get a get a chicken and rice plate for admittedly an expensive like $8. Versus the hyper expensive, like 16.
Yeah, inside the convention type of food. Yeah, that stuff's way expensive.
Yeah, so having that option was actually really big. So a lot of people had complaints, but I still think it was a good thing. I still think it really worked out, and it shows that as much stuff as we've talked about them, because dude, I've talked massive amounts of stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
About the
logistics.
I'm not even sure if it's still run by ReedPop. I'll do my research. And get back to y'all on that. But they've stepped it up. They've paid attention to a lot of the reports and a lot of the concerns that people had about the convention being the center being under construction during the convention, because that could have been a huge problem. And it ended up, it was fairly okay in that respect. Now, as for content, dude, I thought stuff was dope. Like they had good previews, man. It wasn't just the same stuff over and over again. Now they had Walking Dead on the badges. They didn't have like 4 different Walking Dead panels arbitrarily. They had like clever stuff. I'm sorry, you gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. When I went on and I read, and I get why. Yeah. But when they pulled the Punisher preview and panel, I was like, you know what? I don't even know anymore. And I was like, I was hoping that they was gonna put it back on just because the fans wanted it. We've been looking for it. And one of my soldiers went down there and said the same thing. Sir, I hope they do it. And I didn't get a chance to reach out to him and find out if they did. So I'm asking you, did they put the Punisher panel back on?
They did not. And brother, I will tell you, security was no nonsense.
Word.
Was no nonsense, zero tolerance this year. Like they were serious. To the point where they were holding up lines on the second day on Saturday, because everyone on Thursday which used to be press day. This does kind of bug me. Press day used to be Thursday. We go in, we get our interviews done, we get our pictures and all that, and we can enjoy the con the rest of the weekend. Now everyone comes on Thursday, so it's hard to work. So you have to kind of space it out, and it becomes a little more difficult. But that's a
Do you think it had anything to do with the stuff that happened on Monday?
In Vegas you're talking about.
In Vegas.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I was coming back around to.
I mean, that's the reason why they said they cut the Punisher preview in the panel because of Vegas.
Oh, okay.
And on Saturday lines were much longer because everyone who came with a cosplay that had a gun. And it didn't look blatantly like bright orange, bright green, blue.
It wasn't a super soaker.
Yeah, exactly. Anything that wasn't like that was getting confiscated. And the way they do these things are when they confiscate it, you may or may not get it back, depending on who takes it, and depending on where they take it from, and depending on what it actually is. Now, I will say I am all for this when you get people like this one dumbass who ended up being right behind me and my friend Kato, who was there.
So you made out, bro. He wasn't right in front of you.
No, because what they do is they send you through, and then your bag's got to come through. So they stopped the conveyor belt the second this dude tried to go through with freaking airsoft pistols, like legit airsoft. So it's not lethal, but you can still like hurt people if they're loaded, and he just started popping off. And he just tried to, and they weren't painted or anything. They were just freaking airsoft pistols. Like, well, it's part of my cosplay. It's like, but you're bringing freaking guns into a convention with people.
Man.
So it all. I mean, okay, the responsibility has to also lie on the con goers. People use common sense with your cosplays, and cosplaying is a wonderful thing. I'm supremely happy to be a part of this community and be able to do this and dress up like my favorite characters. I did Static Shock this year.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I did Static Shock and got the new green. I got the new GL ring, so I did. Yeah.
I'm jealous that you don't have Batman on there, but it's alright though.
Batman on the Green Lantern ring? Come on, brother.
No, you had the Batman ring on forever. You just casted away Batman.
No, I still have it. What you don't get rid of these things. What
it ain't here now. I'm just saying.
Hater.
I don't see Batman here.
Okay, see now the thing is you're forcing the hate. That's what's wrong with this now. All right, but no, I appreciate that security was very serious. Normally I'd have complaints like, you're going overboard. You're doing some dumbness and things, but they were very strict this year, but they were also very efficient. So we waited an extra couple minutes. Versus at like PAX a couple years ago where we ended up waiting like 3 hours, 3+ hours. So I mean, I'll applaud them on this because they had a nice little collection of everything. Some guns that were obviously fake, but they had the proper shape and stuff. It's like yes, it looks like a real gun. It looks like a real AK, except it's this big. So probably not, the lethal weapon it may resemble, but the detail was enough for what, we can't make exceptions. So it's like, all right. So I will say that they were on their job.
So out of all the stuff you saw, what are you most excited about?
Dude, we got to see using my press credentials and getting in. We got to see preview the first episode of the new season of Archer.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, yo. Huge changes are happening.
What?
You have no idea what you about to, like the changes you about to get into.
What kind of way? We're talking like production. We're talking audio, visual. We're talking story.
Character stories.
I'm talking character stories.
No, don't tell me somebody dies off or something like that.
Brother, no spoilers.
Okay.
But I will say, characters go through massive changes.
We're not talking like Dragon Ball GT Goku stuff, are we? Because that was terrible changes.
Yeah. Okay. As extreme as you may be thinking, and not the Dragon Ball, you goofball over there. As extreme as you might be thinking for changes, when you actually see it, you'll realize you couldn't even fathom getting in the ballpark of what they actually do. But you know what? It was funny. It was funny. I think that's the most important thing. I'm really jazzed about this new season.
And everybody was there, right? Because I saw one of my buddies put a clip of Aisha Tyler running on stage or whatever. And she just ran through.
I love her. She is a gem, man. She was okay. Walters and Jen Walters and H. John Benjamin weren't there.
Oh, we're not.
They were not there. No. Okay. But you know what?
Is that because he was on a Bob's Burger panel? Just
No, he didn't make it out the. Maybe he did. If he did, I missed him. But he didn't make it to the Archer panel. I was a little bummed about that. I wanted to see this because he's one of these dudes that I've been following just because I liked his work.
He has great
Since
work.
he was essentially nobody,
Yep.
and now he's like the go-to guy when it comes to like these random voice characters.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I knew you when you were nothing, and now you're
Now
this.
you somebody.
Yeah, it's like if you for no reason followed George Clooney back when he was on Roseanne, you know, and now he's freaking
He was
George
on
Clooney.
Roseanne?
Exactly,
What?
exactly. Yes,
I didn't even know George Clooney was
Really?
on Roseanne either.
Yeah, he was her boss at the factory in the early episodes.
I just know that schmuck that's on what's that with the show with Friends with Nerds? What is
Bam,
it?
Bam,
Bazinga or whatever.
Bazinga, thank you.
Whatever the name of that
Yes,
show was. I'm drawing a blank right now.
How I Ruined Your Franchise.
Ooh.
No,
But yeah, he was like DJ. He was like
you're talking about Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, Big Bang Theory, and he was the girl, the Darlene's boyfriend or whatever. That's all I remember. It was like he was Darlene's boyfriend.
Well, the only thing I won't hate on Big Bang Theory for, because that's just like that's lampooning. That's the coonery of nerdism right there, which is a damn shame.
Really
but I will say they brought back Mayim Bialik. Where everyone was just like, why she ain't working no more? Mayim Bialik was Blossom.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And she stopped acting. Well, quit acting in Hollywood essentially to get her degree.
Yep,
She is a I think I want to say microbiology. It's not microbiology. It's like astrophysics. She's a physicist, or she's a scientist. I don't remember the exact principle, which is where I'm failing myself now. But she has a doctorate. They brought her back not only to act, but to be a consultant on the science they messed.
Oh, you stopped me in my tracks. I was gonna say, I guess that degree ain't paying off. She acted, but you say she's a consultant.
Yeah,
I eat those words.
Yeah, she's the one that checks their science and makes sure they're not just like spouting BS.
That is awesome.
Yeah, everything else is BS. Though. Dude, I had so much fun at this, and I didn't expect to because naturally this is work for us.
Yeah, of course.
Like we enjoy going to a couple of cons. When you go to like all of them or as many as possible,
it gets draining
because
after
it's
a
part
while.
of the very. And I was lucky enough to meet up with some friends who were kind of in the same boat. But together we like introduced each other to different stuff because I see like similar stuff every year. A mix sees similar stuff every year, and we have different realms. So when we do these reports together, then we give the audience a taste of different stuff. But when we're there in person, we kind of just do our own thing. When I was there with my friends, one of which, if anyone who's a long time listener of the Geek Down will remember, our former correspondent and just all around awesome person, Emily Hecht. Emily, shout out to Emily. I hope she's listening. Probably not. Emily was doing amazing things and left us to continue her career in New York. She is now working for Valiant Comics. Yeah, for Valiant Comics, it was manning their booth and was also working part-time for Marvel artist Sean Murphy.
Nice.
Yeah, and dude, she was somebody there. She had juice in a clipboard.
Nice. You got a clipboard. You somebody.
So Emily's doing big things. Very proud of her. But it was good to see her, good to catch her a bit, and also roam the floor a little. And doing that also with my good friend Kato. Shout out to Kato too, who I think it was her first convention or her first big convention.
Nice.
And dude, helped her come out. Had this awesome domino costume. It's actually up on Instagram right now. You can check us out on Instagram and see our cosplay photos at The Geek Down on Instagram. So hopefully check that out. Dude, I had an awesome time. Besides Archer, I will highly recommend Ash vs. Evil. Dude, it was just a damn good time. This is
awesome.
Yeah, we got to see dude, Bruce Campbell. I was almost in high-fiving distance to Bruce Campbell.
Nice.
The press seats were still a little a little bit away from the stage, but we were still right up there. Like if he had a little bit of phlegm and he cleared his throat and some spittle launched into the audience, it probably would have landed on me. Yeah, that's how close I was. And unfortunately, we couldn't get like the press opportunity right there because they all had to book it right after. But the new season of Ash vs. Evil is looking good. Dude, I am jazzed. They had a lot of good stuff, a lot of fun stuff there. We'll have a full report written up by Mix Macabre on the site, hopefully by tomorrow. And I mean, dude, this one was thumbs up. This one was surprisingly thumbs up because New York Comic Con has had its problems in the past, and it really seems like they're learning from their mistakes, and they're also paying attention to the con-goer feedback, which actually gives me hope for next year's Comic-Con. So NYCC, do proper thumbs up, and I applaud you for stepping it up this year.
And that's awesome, man, because all the people that I know who hit up cons constantly, they just do it as fun. They don't do it for work like we do. They all spoke very highly of this one.
Yeah.
They were just like, yo, you missed something special.
Yes. You know what you missed? Man. You missed Tick Danger Boat. Danger Boat is the new villain on the live action Tick on Amazon, the Tick, and they built out a full on like boat, like it looked like that boat in that Hulk Hogan bad Sunday afternoon TV show. They built this out, and you could go in, you could take pictures. They had a whole thing you could do. And what was dope about it is I realized after the fact that you can go in and play with the consoles, and they hired an actor to be the voice of the boat. He's just commenting on different folks. You give him your name as you come in, and he's just shouting you out. And not just shouting you out, but he's like cracking on folks. Yeah. He's like, "Why do you wear flip-flops to a con?" Stuff like that. And that was cool. And then as you go through, you can flip switches and interact with their screens and stuff, and you can fabricate your own superheroes. You get a little printed out ID badge. I got that. And I realized at the end, like what they do is you're working your way to this room where you make a little animation for your villain, and it's you posing on the spinning turntable they have there, and it makes like a GIF animation for them to put on their website.
I've seen a lot of those.
Yeah, and you're that villain. What I didn't realize was they're slick with it, because as you're going around the inside playing at the consoles, you're just waiting in line, right? And it's just a clever way of waiting in line. And while you're waiting in line, you're hitting these switches and stuff, and it just feels powerful. I'm up here like I'm in an actual submarine. I'm hitting switches and things, and it feels good. And then when I get to the touchscreens and I'm making up my superhero, I'm just giving them my email information so they can send me like their newsletters and stuff. The whole thing was genius, but you know what? I didn't care. It was good. And then they had one joystick where you press the button and it fires missiles on the screen. And I'm just like, I'm bombing North Korea. Take this. Kim Jong. Up yours, Kim Jong. Man, it was fun. And then I got the little animation. They gave me a poncho at the end. It was all right. So yeah, that was one of the things that made this year's New York Comic Con a thumbs up. But now I'm gonna kick it over to Just Johnny.
I can't wait for you to tell me what the deal is, Johnny.
Yes, sir.
I'm just to the point where I'm speaking really slow.
Yep.
Because I can't wait.
Let
me just stop.
He's trying not to drool on himself, yo.
Oh, speaking of waiting, this is like a big giant movie review for a very big giant movie because
yes,
it's
it is.
almost 3 hours long.
Yeah, dude,
hold on, you're talking Titanic long?
We're talking Titanic long, man.
Oh.
You're in for the long haul. So I prepared before watching it. So
he drank so much water.
Talking about Blade Runner 2049. Yeah. I watched it earlier today. And before I even went to the theater, I knew it was a long movie, so I ate beforehand, and I went to Starbucks, got myself a coffee, and I went in the theater, had the coffee right in front of me. I did not leave that seat until I did not go for a pee break at all. I was there for the full 3 hours.
Wired down his leg to a bottle tied around his ankle.
That is dedication. I'd have been like, I'm just have to skip out this whole middle section of my review. I got to go.
I knew what I was in for.
So Blade Runner 2049. You're talking about this is the follow up to the original Blade Runner movie.
This is the never expected follow up to a cult classic film. So the original Blade Runner was not successful. It was actually kind of a little bit confusing to watch. It's one of those movies that you definitely have to watch multiple times. And the definitive version didn't even come out until, DVD, early days of DVD, where the director's cut was
even
de facto
longer.
Standard. And longer, yeah.
I legit read the book in order for me to at least remotely understand.
Well, that's the thing. The book, I've read the book. I love the book. The book is very different from the movie. Why is it so different, though? The book was dope. And the book is like wall-to-wall ass whoopings. And this dude, Decker was gangster.
Yep.
And then in the movie, I think he might be a replicant. I'm gonna, oh no, he ambushed me by this truck. And I'm getting slapped out. Oh, okay, well, I got lucked out. And someone saved my ass. So I'm gonna really talk. Oh, yeah.
So,
sorry, Chief. Sorry. Yeah. This is a folded paper animal. That's beautiful.
The Blade Runner movies are not they're not action flicks. These are definitely not action flicks. They're almost like they're philosophical movies, kind of like Alien, not Covenant. What was the one before that? Prometheus.
Oh,
yes. Kind of like Prometheus.
Gotcha.
How Prometheus was very
garbage. Yes, I know.
It was
No,
not
not
garbage.
Prometheus
It was a
was
really
hot
good movie.
It was a good movie.
It was
Stop
really
hating.
good.
Prometheus
Really
was farm fresh garbage.
No, it was a
juice.
good movie that made you
Fresh
really
squeezed.
contemplate and think about
All
life.
right.
Yes, it was
Ass
the Thinkers
Water.
Alien.
Ass water.
It was like an Alien light.
That's right. Tell him, Johnny.
No,
Drop
no,
it.
Well,
You know
people
how- you
want
know how-
too much Alien.
Mhm.
You know, they want a lot of it because it was the big return of Alien. And it didn't. All right, we're
Okay,
not talking
you know
about
how you
Prometheus.
switch that goo out of a dumpster after it's rained
Yeah.
through the garbage. That was Prometheus.
So
Continue, sir.
Blade Runner 2049.
Mhm.
It's I don't even know when the original one launched, but this is like
1982.
what 30 years later, right?
Oh yes, I did get
82.
checked out. This takes place.
Over that.
This takes place 30 years after the first Blade Runner movie,
Yep.
which takes place in 2019.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just a couple years from now. So Herb, get ready.
So 30 years after the events of I kind of want to steer clear of spoilers here, but
Mhm.
you kind of do need to watch the first
Mhm.
Blade Runner movie in order to fully understand the things that are going on in this movie. Now,
Well, I thought that was a failing because this is an intricate story, but it's also reliant on stuff that took place a long time ago.
it is.
So
Yes.
most of the generations that are really into this stuff now would go in and be lost to like half of the plot of this movie.
The potential they do bring up the past, and they do sort of go over it. So you can understand it, you can follow it without watching the first one, but you have to be very alert and you have to pay attention and you have to go and get a coffee and strap in and keep your eyes peeled because there's a
Yeah.
lot of information that's going to go
Mhm.
and none of it is irrelevant. All of it is going to be used, and they actually they do this multiple times throughout this film where they'll hint or sort of make almost like a glancing comment about something, and then they bring it up again later on
Mhm.
into more depth, and they show the significance of what they just casually mentioned earlier in the film, and they do that a bunch of times within this movie,
Mhm.
and they do it. I believe they do it in a very awesome, interesting way, and throughout the movie, you're following this main character who is a Blade Runner, just like the first movie.
Mhm. K.
K.
K. Yeah.
Yeah,
K played
with a
by,
bunch of numbers.
Well, yeah, Agent
Yeah,
K,
Agent K.
blah, 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 played by Ryan Gosling.
Played by Ryan Gosling, and he's going through, and just like the first movie, what did I miss?
I don't know. Jay just cracked up for no reason.
Oh, okay. Just like the
Dude
first
spazzed
movie.
It out. he's like,
No, I'm Herb. I think Herb said he was hot. That's why I just laughed.
what? Wow. Okay. All
They-
right.
He said
They-
awful. Okay.
Yeah.
Learning more about DJ Herbert Herb today.
So they go through right from the beginning. They sort of introduce this notion of replicants, who they are. And this is right off rip. You know that Ryan Gosling, unlike the first movie, he is a replicant, but he's a
Yeah.
new model. He's different. He's way more obedient than what you saw in the original movie,
Mm.
and he's way more understanding. But they still show you what the older models were like on the original movie, because in the very beginning minutes of the movie, he's confronting an old model replicant. So you immediately start to understand these elements, and this is kind of why you don't need to watch the old movie.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you there, but I do like that point though,
Yep.
because in the first movie it was very much like replicants. Who are they? Where can they be? Is Decker a replicant? Even we don't know. We have no idea. And the whole society situated around these secret replicants that were just kind of like seated amongst the people that remained on Earth. And this movie does away with all that. We're in the future. We know these are replicants. Almost everybody's a replicant, because all the humans with any amount of money have left the planet.
Mhm.
And it's actually explained in a series of shorts why all the humans are gone and the replicants are in the situation they're in right now. You can watch them free online. It's actually kind of cool. But I like that they're not doing the whole is a human versus the replicant thing. Is it like a man versus machine type of set? It's like nothing like that. And that they acknowledge the different generations of replicants, because realistically, this is years later. There's no reason for there to only be one type of replicant.
Yep, and
You know?
and the one type of model, and
Mhm.
and certainly they even identified like they gave weight to the situations that happened in the original. Major catastrophic things happened. They mention it right, in this movie.
Yep, they show it in the shorts. That's one of the benefits.
Okay. I need to watch those shorts to
yeah, they're free
get
online.
that. I should definitely check that out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so they mention major things that happen in the world in the years prior, and then they show it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The character travels to many different locations, many different vistas, and these vistas are gorgeous, beautiful, beautiful stuff. We're talking
they're very pretty.
Very pretty.
And nothing else. They're remote. They're vast. There's no music to
emphasize.
Immersion. There's no
immersion. So much immersion. It was kind of like so it was the caliber of Mad Max style visuals. That caliber of very interesting, very fantastic looking, but without the action.
Without the action. Without the drama. Without the audio. Without the interests, without the care for the audience, without the interesting storytelling.
By audio, you mean it didn't have a kickin' soundtrack. It had a very major lack of music, a backing soundtrack.
We were talking about this before the show. That was actually one of my complaints, the lack of anything but ambient audio. And by ambient audio, I mean the one trumpet blasting for like a minute nonstop and then emptiness. And so many scenes where it's just dialogue and silence, or silence and silence.
Yeah, there is electronic music, a very sort of bass-heavy, gritty, sort of suiting the setting and suiting the world itself. There is some of it here and there, but most of it is, as you said, bass-heavy, almost disturbing. Bassy sounds that are meant to be there for atmosphere and immersion than it is to
they're meant to be there for annoyance and pretension and not really for I'm sorry, man. It's true. I had such a big problem with the first hour of this movie. It got really good and won me over, but the first hour is tough. Like
the first hour.
Yeah, no, it's not a short stint. Like I was seriously wondering, like, this was my problem with the first Blade Runner 2, which is just an issue in general with the type of sci-fi I like versus the type of sci-fi Johnny likes. What resonates with us, me, it's more action oriented. With you, it's more, I guess, story heavy.
Hold on. You are a Star Trek fan.
Of course.
This should be right in line with you, man.
No
that stuff
way,
is boring.
Man. No. What?
That's right.
How dare you?
There you go.
No, what? Where do you get out? Okay, this has been the Geek Down. I want to thank you all for joining us with the last appearances. How dare you, man? No, Star Trek is dope. And if you're talking about the original series, yeah, those episodes, those kind of dragged down a bit. I can see that, but they still had things like William Shatner, was corny for a reason. Spock was like, this dude's extra rigid and stuff for a reason. And I also noticed going back and watching those, Bones was kind of racist. Like they just that went over my head as a kid. But yeah, this dude, like every episode he throws in a random like comment like, did he just say that? And then he changed the scene real quick. Okay, but this movie wasn't really as action oriented as I was ready for, as I was expecting. Mm-hmm. And I mean, not that the first movie was, but the book definitely was. The book definitely had solid action scenes. And it was very different from the original movie that was presented by Ridley Scott back in '82. Mm-hmm. And this movie, 2049 now, took that, really took from that, like took that, grabbed that baton and ran with it. Yep.
Is there a book that follows this newer storyline?
No, this is brand new and original.
So this is an expansion on the universe, an expansion on the story, and yeah,
it's the utmost level of fan fiction.
Yeah. And you definitely get the most out of this movie by watching the first one, because you're definitely going to know the significance of a lot of things that happen, the things that they mentioned earlier on that happen in this world. You're going to understand the world better. You're going to understand the prior events better. You're just going to understand everything better. So it is a sequel that you do need to watch the before ones on, but in today's day, I mean, we have Avengers 1, 2, 3, and in order to fully understand those, you have to watch the Iron Mans and the Spider-Mans.
Each individual movie. So it's not that out of the ordinary for audiences now.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of a big ask when you consider that they're gonna sit through a 30-year-old movie, not like something that came. Yeah, dude.
A 30-year-old movie that stands the test of time.
No, it does not.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
The effects do. The story does not. And to refresh myself, I went back and watched the original Blade Runner before checking out 2049, and story wise, like it is tough.
It's a different.
The effects are like are above, but the effects can stand like toe to toe with this one, and both are extremely beautiful. I will definitely give them that. But the story back then was even slower, and that movie's shorter than this. The story
Yeah.
back then was even slower than this new one.
Yep.
And I think that's something audiences should definitely be prepared for before they go in.
I mean, I don't think it's
yeah.
a big ask. I hear what you're saying. I don't think it's a big ask. I mean, if you care about the material you're ingesting with your eyes and your ears,
But okay,
it's not a big ask. Like, it's not a big ask to tell somebody you might want to watch the first Blade Runner in order for you to catch a second Blade Runner. Exactly for the reason what you said, Jardy. It's a movie that stayed the test of time. I hear what you're saying about the nuances, but if you care about it, man, put in the work and go watch it.
Yeah.
Like, just watch the first one, then go see the second one. Be forewarned that it's 3 hours. You're gonna give it 3 hours. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But I just feel that it's like, I think we're in a situation where we're demanding more from our prequels and our sequels and movies that reach back to our nostalgia. We're demanding more. We don't want to be watered down, but at the same time, we want it to be accessible to everybody. Anybody who's not willing to give anything. I feel that some of these movies you have to give something. So for me, if I have to give up 2 hours or some change, or for me to watch the first Blade Runner, or for me to be able to greatly appreciate 2049, then I should do it. It's not a big ask.
Yeah, and it does do that. It does have a better, more interesting, and more convoluted and nuanced story there for you because it is leveraging the old material. So there's way more substance there to dig into and bite into and to sort of wrap your head around. Now, this is not a passive movie. You have to be very active while watching this movie because there is a lot of things going on when there is not much. There are scenes that have a lot of things going on, and then there are scenes as Pat identified.
Not a goddamn thing.
Not much going on. Yeah, not much.
Yeah. Like if you don't see the original, there are some scenes that are going to completely flabbergast you. This is true, and those are the scenes I do notice. Those are the scenes where it really seems like they were probably pandering to the hardcore fans. That really slowed down the flow of it. That really were tough to get through. Like there's one character you meet, and he does progress the story, but they don't really introduce him. He's just kind of like there, and he was not a major, but a big character, a significant character in the 1982 Blade Runner. If you haven't seen that, you have no idea why they just randomly go to this one dude, and then he's got information, and then they're out. Like, you know, if you do know who he is, there's a couple Easter eggs they throw in where it's like, oh yeah, and he's yeah. But if you don't, yeah, it's just some random, you know, seriously, it's like it's not even like Mr. Universe where he became vital to the sun. No, he just had some information. They barely introduce him. They just go, he's there. They did that a few times, and a few things really really spoon fed the fan service to audiences. So if anyone wasn't a hardcore fan, even if you've seen the originals but you weren't that into them, some scenes that are some poignant scenes will just be completely lost on you, and it might make the story a little less coherent. Am I right?
Yeah, you are right. And some of these scenes where there's nothing really going on and it's just sort of camera showing big landscapes and big environments that look beautiful. A lot of that also does tell story without actually telling story. It's sort of showing the story. So in that particular area, I think you're talking about, it's, you know, you see just a set of landscape that just gives you tons of questions because if you're familiar with, you know, our world and how it operates, there used to be a city there and now there is no city there. And
why the hell everything all vacant? Why the hell's the snow gray? Why the hell that 40-foot tall purple woman naked?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was not complaining about that part though.
Yep.
Underground societies, like rebel uprisings that are like quiet revolutions. There was a lot of things that really, I mean, I'm talking a lot of mess about it, but what it comes down to is I am giving this a thumbs up. I did like this movie, and besides the really awkward performances of Jared Leto, who I'm not hating on, I really feel like he's trying to regain some karma from that messed up Joker performance in Suicide Squad. From that messed up Joker performance.
The Oscar winning Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Please continue.
Man.
From
They have an Oscar.
There's no
From
justice.
makeup.
They have an Oscar.
What
Makeup.
justice? But I really feel like he's trying to get back into the groove of no, I'm a serious actor. Remember not Civil Lines, but what was it?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, with Matthew McConaughey.
Well, he plays like
remember
he
why?
played
Dallas
the aid
Buyers
patient.
Club?
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
that's what it is.
He's like, remember Dallas Buyers Club? I was in that. I was saying, haha, me.
Oscar, because he got one for that.
Yes,
right?
he did.
Yeah.
Yep. So he's really trying to get out by really immersing himself in these roles, and there was all these BS stories about how he practiced being blind for a week. It's like, yeah, okay, cool, but you probably just closed your eyes and they made it a news story,
Jeez.
you know. But it's like, besides that, the movie was beautiful, like
Yes.
visually stunning. I would recommend checking this out if you can sit through it, if you can stomach it. See it in IMAX 3D. This was on par with my first impression of Doctor Strange.
Wow.
Such beautiful visuals, man.
That is high praise.
Yeah,
I'd compare it to that Christopher Nolan space one.
Inception?
Not Inception, the space one.
Gravity.
Interstellar.
Yes.
yes.
Okay, yeah.
Because that one I saw in IMAX.
Okay, yeah,
And
it looks
was
phenomenal.
great. Yeah.
Good comparison. And I mean, I would recommend you take that first hour with a grain of salt. Hey, maybe you go in for the first 5-10 minutes, get the story, and then maybe you go get popcorn. You know, the lines
Coffee.
You get coffee.
Get
too.
coffee. Definitely get coffee.
Yeah, the lines will have slimmed out a bit. You know, take your time, walk down the aisle, explore the artwork in the theater, and then go back. And then that last hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes of the movie, you will enjoy yourself.
I wouldn't say cut out on anything, but definitely get a coffee, stay alert, and pay attention to everything. And there's a lot there to consume, and gobble it all up if you like seeing these beautiful vistas and landscapes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for me,
And some boobs.
Yeah,
I mean, this wasn't Joanna Cassidy, you know, running through the glass, and then you know, in the clear raincoat.
Yes.
But you know, it was enough.
It was for me this movie. It seems like it's going to be at a masterpiece level. I need to stew on it for a bit, but right now I'm thinking masterpiece level. I do have to chew on it.
I'm
going to chew.
Masterpiece.
Yeah.
He's gonna masticate on this masterpiece.
I am going to masticate all over the place on this masterpiece.
I really hope you know what that means, because
I don't know what that means.
masticate means to chew, dude.
That's what I meant.
Okay, so what do you say?
Thumbs up, definitely up.
All right, so 2 thumbs up. On
just like the grandpa with the Viagra.
Why? Okay,
Herb, edit this out in post, man. Wrap this up in post, B.
Okay, so to anyone who's still listening, this has been the Geek Down here on WEMF. I've been Pat B. I want to thank JM the Thriller Priest.
Peace.
I want to thank Just Johnny.
Yo.
I want to thank DJ Herbie Herb.
Yay.
And I want to thank you. This has been an awesome episode. You can watch us and catch all the previous episodes on twitch.tv/thegeekdown or on our YouTube channel. If you search The Geek Down on YouTube, we're usually the first, result that comes up. You can get all the reviews there, the interviews, all the fun stuff that happens in between. It's all posted there. Also on SoundCloud. Check for us on iTunes. View our pictures on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe on Facebook. All the good stuff. And dude, if you go to geek-down.com, you can actually check out our shenanigans on the proper site, and in the About section get links to all the different social medias I mentioned before. Now, hopefully you'll check us out next time, but until then, be excellent to each other. Peace.
Peace.